Hey, just wanted to take an opportunity to look at the Raptors defense through the lens of how they guarded Domantas Sabonis. So before we do that, let me give you some background. The Sacramento Kings are the number one offense in the NBA. Over their last 9 games, they have an offensive rating of 130, which is absurd. And they are top 10 shooting everywhere from the court. So at the rim, they're top 10. Short mid range, top 10. Long mid range, top 10. Corner three, top 10. Regular three, top 10. They're a very efficient offense, and they do so by orchestrating and running through Domantas Sabonis as their main hub. They have a ton, and I mean a ton, of great ball handlers and decision makers, guys like Kevin Huerter, guys like Malik Monk, who play off of those actions. And then, of course, they have guys like Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, and lastly, but not least, De'Aaron Fox. So they have a very dynamic offense that is extremely slick and clever the way they run through Domantas Sabonis, how diligent they are working off of those actions, the reads that come afterwards. And the Raptors just kind of took that and punched it in the face. And I'll explain how. Let's look at some film. So this isn't the start of the game, but I wanted to show this one first because I think this is a great example of how defenses thrive in the NBA today. So really simple, Davion Mitchell is going to throw the post entry pass and then he's going to cut through. This is really simplistic, but Fred VanVleet is going to take this opportunity to zone up, and so will the rest of the defense, right? So you can pause this here. As you see, Pascal Siakam is on Davion Mitchell, but he's also on Keegan Murray. OG Anunoby is also kind of in the same space, occupying Keegan Murray and Trey Lyles. And so this is important because Fred sticks around and knows that that weak side, Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby, will capably zone it up. Davion Mitchell tries to kind of dart between these dunker spot positions to make the Raptors pay for it, but that doesn't happen at all. And this is a really great job of the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, everybody involved, at making their length and their smarts on defense really pay off. This is what new age defense is all about. This is the biggest thing that they can do. And this one is just really early on in the game, setting the tone. It's late clock. He has the size advantage against Siakam, and he should be able to push him in weight room style, right? This is a bigger man with more weight, should be able to bang around. But since it's late clock, OG gets to abandon his check, and everyone else gets to kind of collapse in the defense. Sabonis is crunched, and you get the block from behind. And so this one, we get to see how the Raptors are in an advantageous position as far as the dribble handoff hub that Sabonis is. We've seen this in the past with OG sticking Bam Adebayo so the Raptors can shut down those dribble handoff actions, for example. But we just have him step up on the ball handler here, right, on De'Aaron Fox. And with Herter setting that second screen back there, it isn't just a straight switch of OG. Scotty gets to step up there too. And then behind that, OG and Fred, you can see they get close to a scram switch, but Fox already starts driving the ball, so OG just stays right there. This is a missed read, in my opinion, by Fox, honestly, to get the ball to Herter. But then again, there's a lot of length at the rim for the Raptors, especially when it comes to guarding guards down there. And he might have thought that if he gives the ball to Herter in that position, not only is Pascal going to collapse, but so is OG. It's late clock. He's going to be dead in the water right there. So that's the Raptors kind of really contesting at the point of attack, switching these actions. Fred is on Sabonis, but it's late clock, so it doesn't matter. OG was about to switch, but then he gets another screen. Scotty gets to step up too. They get to be more and more aggressive as you get farther and farther into the shot clock, and your mistakes defensively don't typically matter as much like what we see here. And perhaps I was too hard on Fox about, missing that read because Sabonis eventually ends up with the ball here, and he can't even get the ball up when VanVleet has his hands in there. Barnes is there too, and so is Siakam. So maybe my bad on that one. And here's something the Raptors will do sometimes is not only Juancho on Trey Lyles here, but Chris Boucher, since the ball was airborne for quite a while before this, he doubles on the catch, especially since they're on the sideline. We'll see a little bit of this later. And he expects a bounce pass or a lob pass to have to go to Herter and Precious to be able to clear and cover that space. Precious does. Sabonis makes a really, really well-timed cut, but Precious's length there makes it more difficult for Herter to make that read. And so here's that zoning up aspect. Once again, you can see Scotty Barnes with the ball in the corner and the Raptors converging, being very aggressive. He's in a position where he has to cover basically half of the half court here. He positions himself in between Malik Monk and Davion Mitchell. He knows that both of them are his responsibility. Right now, he's shading to Malik Monk. Why? Because that's the easier read for Herter to make out of the corner. Now, once it goes to Sabonis and Sabonis pivots, Barnes starts paying more attention to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell makes his cut from the corner, which triggers Malik's cut from the top. That's really great from Malik. I mean, that's what you want to see from them. But they have so much length on Sabonis right now that it seems like a really, really tough pass to make. And it is. They're covering all the passing lanes there. And this is a little bit tough from the Kings, for example, because Trey Lyles isn't really doing much of anything. If he's the release valve where you huck the ball way out to like half court, I'm not sure. But Sabonis is blanketed. The Raptors have length to throw at these passing lanes. Scotty covers everything he needs to. Precious tracks back into the paint with Kevin Huerter, and Boucher and OG get to, trap closer, closer, closer until eventually they whack the ball off of Sabonis's leg. And so here the Kings are running a little dribble handoff out of the corner to get into delay with Sabonis. He catches it and they initiate a Chicago action out of the corner. OG reads this, cheats to that action, and then Sabonis thinks he has a driving lane. But unfortunately for him, heavy hands, Fred VanVleet still there to get a steal. And then so here we actually have a Raptors breakdown between OG Anunoby and Scotty Barnes mixing up this action, right? Sabonis finds room, gets clear, but this is the Raptors' ideal. This is what they want to do. They want to make players hurry up their offense. They want to make them nervous. Sabonis with 9 turnovers tonight, a really big deal. Under normal circumstances, one of Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam, maybe both rotating from the corner should not give Domantas Sabonis any pause. And so when he's on the catch here, this should be an easy catch, put the ball down, bump Siakam, finish at the front of the rim. That's what it should be. Siakam is super compromised here. But not only is Sabonis so worried about all the length he's been seeing tonight, it's not about losing the ball once he does. It's that he has an uncalled travel beforehand, right? Puts the ball down, loses it. The Raptors are in his head at this point. He's seeing them everywhere. As I said, 9 turnovers. 7 of them are live ball. One of them is a charge. One of them is a moving screen. But most of these turnovers are him making mistakes and being frustrated with the Raptors' length. And so this is just a really great duck in, great positioning from Sabonis on OG. Also a great entry pass in, turns, but he's hurried, right? He's worried. He's hurried. The Raptors have really had him on lock the whole game. So he doesn't use his dribble. He just flips it around. There's Pascal waiting at the rim, and it's a missed shot. And so here you can see more of that spontaneous doubling on the sideline, using him as an extra using the sideline as an extra defender. Monk gets trapped, makes a great pass out, but this is where you can see that Sabonis is seeing ghosts in the Raptors defense. This read down to the rim should be easy as pie. It's Fred VanVleet there, but since he's been seeing Raptors jerseys with length all night, he's been seeing Raptors get in passing lanes, disrupt them, steal from them, all that kind of stuff. He pauses seeing Fred, and that pause allows Pascal to recover all the way from the sideline back to the rim to break up this lob. It's really impressive. The Raptors did such a good job swarming Sabonis that they made Fred seem like he was 6'8" in his eyes. And so this one's just kind of easy. This is the Raptors defense really feeling itself. It's a post entry, a cut through. Precious is one pass away. Sabonis gets into the paint. Not only is Boucher in a position where he's going to help, and Barnes and Gary Trent will be able to take care of that side of the floor, yes, but Precious doubles from the top, one pass away. And Sabonis, they've been so in his head that this actually works out, and he doesn't even look to that side of the court, right? He quite frankly, he misses the easy read that needed to be made here, and that's what the Raptors were able to do. But yeah, that's basically how the Raptors were able to hamstring the hottest, best offense in the NBA. A really, really impressive unit that is coached super well, runs super interesting actions, and has a bunch of talented players committed to making those actions work. And the Raptors, they stopped it full on in its tracks. And this was just kind of fun to go through the tape and see like how they did that. It starts with Sabonis, as it always has on a Sabonis team, and the Kings, they run this beautiful offense through him. The Raptors found a way to stop it in a bunch of different ways, and Sabonis had one of the worst games of the year for him, not overall or anything like that. So 9 turnovers. You can stick this game in the hall of the Trae Young 10 turnover game and all that kind of stuff as well. So I hope you enjoyed watching. You can always get this kind of stuff if you subscribe to raptorsrepublic.com. My written work is typically much more investigative as far as what is going on the court than the stuff that ends up on the YouTube channel. It is behind a paywall. We think it's worth it. I do too. So if you want to support, feel free to go over to raptorsrepublic.com, support. And additionally, if you want to hear me talk hoops along with a whole bunch of other people, February 7th, 6 p.m., Rivoli. We have Demetrius Nichols, who's an assistant coach with the 905. We have Blake Murphy. We have Vivek Jacob. We have Katie Heindel. We have a huge laundry list of Raptors Republic people and former RR people. Tickets are going fast, and it's going to be a really fun night of talking basketball. If you've ever wanted to talk basketball with me, I will be available after the show to chop it up with whoever, and we can talk about basketball until Rivoli closes. So if you ever want to hang out, chop it up, that'll be the time to do it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. I'm Samson Folk. Okay, see ya.